And welcome today. It's time for the inaugural Gran Turismo Online League Dirt Race. We are here. We have seven of some of the best drivers ready to go racing on the dirt. We're going to get a little sideways, get down and dirty here in the gravel and dirt of the Sardegna Road course on the dirt circuit. I'm joined, as always, by former Touring Series champion Rashad Metz. Rashad Metz, how you doing?
I'm doing great today, Miles. How you doing?
Oh, I'm ready to watch these drivers have some fun on the dirt. This is not a points race, so there's no points on the line, so they don't have to worry about this messing up their championship hopes. This is just an exhibition race. So, Rashad, how do you think drivers going to take this race differently?
Well, I think the driver's going to handle this race. They're going to be a little bit more relaxed, maybe also a little bit more aggressive. It just depends on how they're feeling this race. But since there's all the marbles, since there's none on the line here this race, I think these drivers are going to try to have a little bit of fun, try to rough each other up a bit, and try to win this race.
And the package is a lot different. It's almost the same car that we run on our normal road course schedule, the Touring Series. But can you explain to us how the package here for these cars is a little different?
But typically now with these cars, we have a reduced rear spoiler down to a nice lip spoiler. We lowered the cars a bit more, and we also have added significantly more horsepower. So right now we took a lot of downforce off the car, and we added some more horsepower to it. So right now these should be an absolute handful to take around this track, and let alone any road course, but especially on dirt. So these drivers are looking to have their hands full this race, and I think they're going to really. This race should be a real test to see who is really strong at on dirt today.
Which a lot of these drivers have raced these cars on pavement before, but some of these drivers have never raced on dirt before, and throttle control is going to be the name of the game here to see who can control the throttle the most, not spin the car and get off the corners the fastest. And as always here at this track, that jump looming off of the final turn, there's two jumps back to back. That's going to mess up a lot of drivers today. It's a very difficult part of the track, so look for them to be fighting through there and trying to keep their car going straight over the jump to get a good launch and good landing, which this is our only track on the schedule that has a jump in it. So how do you think, what do you think is going to be the most difficult part of this track there, Rashad?
Honestly, I feel like this is the last section of the course, especially that right when you're talking about the bumps and the two corners, the little it's kind of a chicane-esque, and then a hairpin at the top of the hill coming down to those corners. We've seen during practice and a lot during testing, these drivers will hit that and either go way too far to the left side of the track, or either they'll land sideways and wouldn't land properly. So basically it's just how to I feel like that's going to be a very difficult section, not using too much power, putting the power down too early, and not spinning the cars around is how these drivers are going to be able to get through here efficiently.
And they sure are going to have their handful. But let's not waste any more time. I know y'all are ready to get down to racing. So let's go for the Mets painting grid walk. Rashad, you care to kick us off?
Starting on pole, we have GRT Sissy in the Mustang. It's his decision to choose this car today. We wanted to mix something up, but he said this car is what's been handling best with his style, and not very much dirt experience, but he was showing a lot of promise and a lot of speed during practice and qualifying, so he's on the pole for today.
And rolling off P2 is Rashad Metz, the Season 1 Touring Series champion and Rookie of the Year in the Weekly Series for this year. Rashad Metz has a lot of talent over ovals and road course. He's probably one of our most, if not the most talented driver at this time. He currently leads the all-time win list for the league with 8 wins. That is one more, I believe, than Miles Johnson with 7. But he's got a lot of wins. He's got a lot of podiums. He's a really experienced driver. But we're going to see what he's going to be able to do here on the dirt. He's already picked up a win this season in the season opener at the Hudson Memorial 125. So he's looking at the pick up his second here. But this isn't a points race, so it won't affect his championship lead today. But look for him to be out there having some fun and going for another win.
Rolling off P3, we have Miles Johnson in that '06 Mustang. Everybody knows Miles Johnson is the Mustang driver, the Mustang king. He loves driving his ponies, but he is the very good on ovals, one of our oval racing specialists in the league. Not very good on the road courses, trying to work his way through that. But today, we're going to see how he can do on the dirt. With a scheme like that, I think he's going to be able to pull something off today. I feel like Miles Johnson's had a lot of bad luck this season, but I have a strong feeling he's going to be able to turn around today.
And rolling off P4 is Trevor Levine. Trevor Levine won last week on his birthday in the 30 minutes of Laguna Seca, but this is not a paved road course here. The dirt, so we have jumps. It's going to be a lot different than it was last week. So Trevor Levine has been learning a little bit that he can during practice. He does have just about the same scheme, run that 95 as he does in the Touring Series. So let's see how he'll be able to do, and I believe his first start on dirt.
Rolling off in P5, we have P-Ganex, sporting his nice Camaro here, nice silver Camaro, Corvette. My apologies, but right now he's one of those drivers that literally tends to lay in the back, doesn't really show up every single week, but I really feel like today he's going to be able to show something different today. He's a very fast driver. His luck's just not always on his side. He's been in contention to win a couple of races in the past, but let's see if he can try to put it together today on the dirt.
And rolling off right behind him is Jalen Bird in that Peugeot. And so let's see how Jalen Bird's going to be able to do today. You see him sporting that Sonic helmet. He wants to go fast here. So he's been doing pretty good in practice. We saw him kicking that car sideways. This car, you don't normally see it on dirt, but it's going to be fun out here. It is the same car as the rest of the field, but it's going to be fun to watch him out here trying his hands at it. He's got a couple podiums in the weekly series before, but he's mostly a part-time driver, so it's great to see him back here tonight.
Rolling off in P last is Miles Turner, Hillsboro. Out here sporting a nice Mustang road car here. I think he's going to be able to try to – he's not really a regular in the series, but he's going to try to make one of his off starts today in one of these more surprising and spontaneous races we were doing this season. He said he wants to come out and have a little fun with these guys and see if he could run with the best of the best. So let's see what he can do as of right now.
And that wraps up the Metz Painting Grid Walk. As always, if you're probably watching this on our YouTube channel, make sure to check out our Instagram. Give us a follow. We do a lot of story posts, some trivia, a lot of fun involvement things, a lot of other point standings posts and whatnot. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to watch our new YouTube videos. We got a lot of other new content coming out soon. And the series is starting to look for some sponsorship, which the sponsorship would most likely be free. We just want to get our name out there. So if you would add us out on social media and stuff, we would love that. So if we can help your company out and get your name out there, in return, we would just like for you to get our name out. So please help us out if you're able to. But we're just going to get down to the dirt race here, the inaugural Gran Turismo Online League dirt race. Let's waste no time getting to the start of this race. It's going to be a fun one here. Make sure our cameras are set up right. And let's get ready for the start of this one. And the lights are out. The GTO dirt race is underway.
4 wide already off the start, as you can see in the back here, trying to sort that out before turn 1 as they're all flying down to turn 1. Sissy maintains the lead. Miles Johnson up to 3rd place. P-Ganex is making a run towards the front already. Big sliding already through turn 2.
It is really hard to see these cars through that cloud of dust. P-Ganex pushes Miles Johnson way out wide. Here comes Trevor Levine. And we're racing hard for the lead up here, side by side. I don't know which one to watch, this two racing for the lead or this massive pack we have behind them.
A lot of them center of that curve, really tricky corner. This is right here, but we're going to go up to that lead pack side by side. Right now, trying to pull down the straightaway. See, Rashad has a lot more grip, but here comes Sissy on the outside trying to battle back, but they're sliding those cars. You see these cars are a handful right now. But you see the huge clouds of smoke, of dirt that gets thrown out into the air. It makes it really difficult for these drivers to see, and it's very important to be able to try to find a way to see through this.
So makes contact with the wall there.
So they can know their braking zones and they can actually navigate the track as fast as they possibly can. But right now this lead battle is starting to heat up some more as Rashad Metz starting to pull a little bit of gap, a little bit of distance on second place.
That jump for the first time we were talking about. Ooh, a lot of air there. Oh, we got a spin.
Huge wreck in the back.
P-Ganex, let's see what happened here.
The first victim
of that jump. We talked about this jump pre-race. Just look at him. He gets out wide, hits the first jump wrong. That just sends him right in the pit wall.
Oh, looks like he had some contact with Trevor Levine going through there. What did it look like on mine? on what I saw here.
Look from the in-car camera.
He's trying to find a way around. Trevor gets real sideways, hits that jump wrong, and Trevor hits the wall too, and into the wall he goes.
Yeah, it's just a racing. It's really, you don't want to be side by side or really close to any drivers there, because that is such a hard place to pass. Ooh, side by side for the lead again.
Just trying to get a good cut back on him there. Sissy and Rashad really battling. Rashad trying to hold that lead off from Sissy. Goes way wide. Sissy's going to try to battle back on the inside. Can Rashad get the power down on the outside? And he does.
And these two battling side by side is opening the door for Johnson and Levine to catch him in that third and fourth spot. Here comes Johnson. Trying to make a move. Not going to get there.
Oh, big moment by Rashad Metz there. Over rotates the car. He's gonna have to try to battle back from third place.
Let's take a look from the helmet cam on. Look at him. He turned that thing all the way to the left. A bad entry to the corner. He has that thing cranked all the way to the left. Tries to get it back going to the right. Almost lost the car there. A good save by him. That's gonna hurt him a lot, and that's gonna allow Johnson to move up to second now.
See if Miles Johnson can surprise the field and get a nice pick up a win today. That would be nice. I think that's what he's been thinking about all season, is finding his way into victory lane. It would be great if he could find his way into victory lane in a points race, but he said today will do it. Will put a smile on his face.
Which is certainly putting a smile on my face right now, watching these guys slip and slide. It's always fun watching these guys go out on a road course and oval in the normal league, but this is on another level. This is some crazy racing. It was so much fun to watch. Trevor Levine.
Big moment.
Let's look at another look at that. We're going to be using the replays like crazy today. Comes off the final turn. I think he hit the first jump a little wrong. Tries to keep out. Yeah.
Swings it out wide.
Ooh, sideways.
First jump just set him up wrong for the second jump, but they see right now it looks like Rashad Metz is starting to reel in Miles Johnson here. Just sliding right on behind him. Looks like GRT Sissy has pulled a little bit of gap into the lead here.
There's these two. Oh, there's Johnson way out wide. That's going to open the door for Metz on the inside.
It's just all about who can get the power down fastest. Let's see if Miles Johnson can battle back. Thinking about that Corvette, it seems like it's really, really fast on the straightaways. If you can get that power down efficiently. Look at the suspension on these cars.
Little mess up there from Sissy in the lead. That's going to open the door for these two. Almost tandem drafting down the straight.
See Rashad Metz and Miles Johnson always put on a show when they're racing each other on any track. And now they're really trying their hand to battle on dirt. Miles Johnson tries to go up the inside, couldn't quite get it there. Rashad trying to get in on the inside of Sissy, trying to work his way through, gets into the back bumper, trying to move him a little bit, tries to get side by side on the edge of the corner, and he does.
Side.
Bumping and banging. Somebody's going to have to give here. I don't think they're able to go side by side through here before that jump. Rashad lifts out of the gas, it seems like, to let Sissy go through because he couldn't get him cleared. Look at Sissy throw that Mustang around the track through that corner.
This is probably one of the most fun races that I've watched so far this year that we've been able to call in the commentary booth. This is just such a good race so far.
So Miles, since you were involved in the testing of this car, how does it handle? Just give us a little characteristics of how the car drives.
It's really almost hard. Ooh, big moves by GRT Sissy. Three wide almost for the lead. But these cars they're almost heavy, but they're really powerful at the same time. They almost feel heavy going into the corner. You got to be careful not to overdrive it and slide. But the rear grip, since these cars are rear wheel drive, they're so hard to get that grip off the turn. To try to get the power down, you will wheel spin and wheel spin and wheel spin, and you gotta hit the gear shifts perfectly. It's just so much goes into driving these cars, and with no rear spoiler on these things, really, like we have in the touring series, you have no rear downforce, so you ain't got much at all pressing down on the rear end of the car in order to help you control that rear end.
But one thing I have noticed is usually a lot of these cars, the brakes have we kept the same brakes that we have in the cars that we drive on the road courses. So I think this is actually really helpful for dirt racing, be able to slow those cars down a lot easier instead of having those more stock car brakes, which usually don't work as efficiently as the cars that we race. So I think that plays a huge advantage. They're side by side, and Miles Johnson trying to get through the inside for second place.
Metz is pulled away from all these people battling back here. Now, as Rashad Metz likes to say, when will he use his mulligan? He always has a mistake each race. He likes to call it a mulligan, but when is he gonna use it?
I don't know when he's going to use it, but hopefully not anywhere near right now, because he has got a nice little gap, and those drivers are battling behind him. Miles Johnson seems like to be in the wall, and Trevor Levine's in the wall after him, trying to get every little bit out of these cars.
Let's look at that beautiful paint scheme. Rashad Metz actually created that himself. That black and red. No, Donnie Wu and Javen Tucker like to call him the Rashimidator. So a little bit of, because if you see that number 24 coming in your rearview mirror, you better start going. It causes a lot of drivers to overrun some corners and stuff just because they know that the best of the best is right behind them in that 24 car.
He has that Intimidator-esque presence as Miles Johnson overtakes mid-air. What an impressive move by Miles Johnson.
Let's watch that again. He goes side by side, comes off the jump, goes in
front of Trevor Levine. Impressive move by Miles Johnson here. But right now, are these drivers going to single file out to try to catch Rashad Metz in the lead? Like, what are these drivers' game plans so far? This race, we're already 6 laps in.
Which you can almost see with this package that we're running here on this dirt road course, that when you're running side by side, it will slow everyone down so much and allow that leader to pull away from the rest of the pack. But if you can like you see like Johnson and Levine are letting Sissy out get into a little lead, you can let that faster car in your group pull everyone in that group back closer to the leader.
So that's a very big strategy that's going to come into play here, I feel like, in this race, especially trying to avoid letting the leader pull away to a major extent. Miles Johnson goes really wide, saves the car. Impressive save there. But Trevor Levine overtakes him after that minor mistake. But I think these drivers have gotten enough space in between themselves where they can run some nice clean laps, some nice clean and fast laps. So I think that's going to allow them to gain some time on that leader so far. So let's see if they can catch Rashad Metz, who seems to be untouchable as of right now in that Corvette. Rashad Metz is flying Little cars back again as they go towards the jump.
Got a whole herd of Mustangs here from second all the way to fourth. Peganex and Miles Turner have unfortunately DNF'd out of the race after trouble. Ooh, yellow flag! The leader's in the wall! Rashad Metz, that's going to open the door for everyone else. Let's see what happened here.
Goes to that corner, seems fine and dandy, gets over the hill, the car gets light.
Takes the jump wrong, and he just couldn't get it turned back. Goes for a spin. Fortunately gets it back going. But that's opened the door. The race is back on for the lead.
Here comes Sissy to the inside. Rashad trying to hold it on the outside. I think he's going to try to get
all the cars tandeming here. A pack of 4 cars under a blanket for the lead now.
Here see Rashad can get an overtake. Trying to set up Sissy. The thing about Sissy here, he's had the fastest qualifying lap, the fastest qualifying time, so having Sissy out front in clean air is actually very dangerous, and none of those drivers want to see Sissy out front by himself because he can gain a lot of time really quick, and before you know it, Sissy is 5 to 6 seconds ahead of the field.
If they start to single fire out, or they start racing hard for second place, here comes Johnson. Johnson goes to the lead. How did that happen?
Seemed like Sissy made a mistake and Rashad left the door open on the inside.
Johnson sends it to the inside of everyone.
Slide
and somehow clears 3 or 4 cars in one turn. Johnson's to the lead now.
See, I told you Miles Johnson is going to show everybody He's going to give everybody a reason to show that he deserves to be in this league. Everybody's been counting him out. Everybody's been overlooking him. He's been making a lot of mistakes this season, but I have a strong feeling Miles Johnson is going to come back. He's going to make some good runs later as the season goes on. His car's going to get faster and faster, and I think Miles Johnson is still going to be a threat for that championship this season.
He said himself he has not been consistently competing for wins since the first ever season in the league where he won the Weekly Series Championship at Northern Iowa Speedway, which was an oval, so that fell straight into his strong suit. He won 5 races that season, went winless in the next season, and it's winless so far. His last win came in the Christmas race, which was last month, so he is hungry to get back into victory lane.
A lot of these drivers are hungry. As we see here, we have 3 race winners, not 3. Sissy hadn't won a race yet. 2 race winners.
He did win a race in the Weekly Series, I believe.
He did win the Weekly Series, but I'm in the... Okay, so we have 3 race winners, known race winners, behind Miles Johnson right now. Miles Johnson is a race winner on his own right, but these drivers have sported some road course abilities to be able to go right and left, so let's see how Miles Johnson can handle these guys. Rashad Metz trying to work the outside of Miles Johnson. He's going to be able to hang it around the outside, trying to make it stick.
Oh, you don't want to be side by side through here. Who's going to give?
And he makes it stick. Is he going to be able to? Side by side, Rashad hits the inside wall a little bit there.
That could have been ugly.
Could have been really ugly. Miles Johnson still is in the lead. Rashad falls back 1 position down to 3rd place as Sissy is back to 2nd place. Can he run down Miles Johnson? It seems like Sissy has not been the fastest car when he's in dirty air. It seems to be faster when he's up front, when he's by himself, when he has some space.
Oh, Johnson goes way out wide. He's able to get back in front, though.
So see if he can maintain the lead, and he does. But Rashad Metz still says he wants a piece of it. Gets back into the lead. Can he hold it? Side by side with Miles Johnson. They both big slide. Miles Johnson
able to get the power down off the corner.
So he pulls a big gap there. What an impressive race this is so far. These drivers are pushing their cars to absolute limit. Sissy sends it on the inside. A little too much. Leaves the door open for Rashad to take back the position. Trevor Levine has been
into the wall. Let's take another look at it. Battling side by side for the lead. Here comes Sissy. Sissy sends it down to the bottom. He's going to get a little loose, make some more contact with Rashad Metz. Comes off the corner. I think Metz definitely got some help, I believe, there.
Or he might have just over-rotated the car on that crest. As the car gets light, gets the power down a little too hard.
To see where you're at in the corner sometime due to those dust clouds you're seeing being kicked up behind these cars.
Well, let's see if Rashad Metz can rally back. We haven't heard much from T-Bird so far this race. He's been chilling out in P5, way back in the back. He was hoping for a better performance today since sliding and drifting is his strong suit, but I guess today wasn't his day.
Yeah, it isn't too much for racing in a straight line, but he's been doing pretty good out here, slipping and sliding on the dirt.
Just a lot of these drivers' first time being on dirt, so we're really seeing what these drivers can do. Trevor Levine is a dude who is really into rally racing, so the dirt is really his strong suit, where he's most comfortable, especially when he's into a lot of drifting and he's into dirt, so and rally racing. So I feel like he's somebody to watch this race. He may be in 4th right now, but I think he's gonna be able to rally up and gain some time, and he might even lead some laps this race. He might even win this race. So we got to keep our eye on that number 95 Mustang.
And this racing has been so far probably some of the best we've seen this season so far, if not the best we've seen of all time. So this dirt race is definitely here to stay, and it'll be back in the next season.
You see Miles Johnson still in the lead. Rashad Metz still trying to reel him in ever so slowly. The thing about driving these cars is you have to try to be in your own headspace. You can't focus on the other cars too much because you might overdrive a corner. You might get on the gas way sooner than your car is ready to. So you have to make sure you pay a lot more attention to your car and less attention to the cars around you. Just be aware of your surroundings, but keep your head in your helmet and keep it in the cockpit, and you'll be just fine. Nice and smooth is how you do it.
Oh, he goes way out wide. Metz is going to take the lead from him.
Well, John's still trying to hold it off on the outside. Those you be able to come back.
No, I don't think so. It looks like Sissy's going to try to look to get past him here.
See, the thing about it, you see how disciplined these drivers are. Because when Miles Johnson went wide, a lot of these other drivers didn't follow. It really shows the discipline that these drivers have to adapt to and have to develop in order to be successful on the dirt. Miles Johnson goes wide again, pushing the car a little too hard, but he still keeps it out of the wall. Rashad Metz enters the lead on lap 11 out of 15. Not much racing left this race.
So if Rashad's able to pull away here, he might be able to get a good enough gap to hold him off until the end if they keep racing like they're racing now.
Indeed it is, but these three Mustangs behind him, these three ponies, are forming some sort of stampede, and I think they're going to be able to run them down if they play their hands right. See, they'll take the jump real smooth there. Miles Johnson is in 4th place. As you see, sad to see, but T-Bird has DNF from the race, but big wall contact from Trevor Levine. Big slide, big moment there, but Rashad being nice and smooth in this race. Miles, let's see if we can get inside the cockpit of one of these drivers and see what are they really doing, what is throttle control, what is really looking like to drive these cars.
Let's pull up the telemetry. You see here at the bottom of your screen, right to the left of the mile/hour sign and everything, you can see the brake, and on the right you can see the throttle, so you can see he's wide open on the throttle now. See where he's shifting. Look at him turn. He gets about half throttle,
just a little above half off of the throttle. Now he's back on the power. Seems like that Mustang can get on the gas nice and hard. Now he's on the brakes hard as he's going.
Gotta whoa that car down a lot for these two final almost chicane turns.
And this is where the things get tricky. You see how feathers the throttle in 2nd gear. Not even using it much, trying to keep that car stable, trying to get a nice run. Working the throttle, trying to see where he can find the grip and getting on the gas as fast as possible. Do hear some drivers can flat out, but not all drivers can. You see he's lifting off the throttle, feathering it, trying to make sure his car grips, make sure it won't rotate through the corners. This is a very tricky corner as well. Coming off the straightaway, going well over 100 miles an hour, wants to slide it, not too much gas needs to be applied. Keeping it in 4th gear, up to 5th, down to 4th again, trying to use that engine braking just as much as possible to whoa those cars down. And just barely working the gas, barely working it. Now let's go see what these drivers are doing back in the pack. Let's go look at the telemetry of those drivers and see how it's different from the one in the leader right now. Because I feel like Rashad is trying to be more conservative, trying not to overdrive the car. So let's see what Sissy's doing right now as he's trying to catch and reel in the leader of Rashad Metz. In 2nd gear.
Bottom.
Right now, beating the rev limiter. You see the two different styles. As you see going for Rashad and going to GRT Sissy. Rashad likes to keep the car in 4th gear and 3rd gear, but Sissy seems to be utilizing 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So it's actually very different driving styles to see how these guys adapt. I think Miles Johnson might have tried to send it on the inside as he's battling right now, trying to see if these drivers are trying to find the grip, trying to get on the gas early just to get in front of each other, to put a nice block on each other to maintain their position. But Sissy is a huge fan of beating the rev limiter in 3rd and 4th gear. And you see through here, big slide. He kicks the back end out a lot more than as you see Rashad does. Let's go throughout the pack. Let's see if we can go back to Trevor Levine and see what Trevor Levine's doing in that number 95 Mustang. You see right now he's in 4th gear as well. I think he seems to be more comfortable in 4th and 5th. Doesn't like beating the limiter as much, so he has a lot more rally experience. So I feel like he knows how to work those gears more than other drivers. So he's keeping it in 4th gear, really feathering it, going down the 3rd here, trying to extract a little bit more acceleration, trying to get the car to turn in more so he won't slide out as wide. But they see him right now in 4th gear trying to get a run on Miles Johnson, trying to get the power down. You see he's getting a nice little run here so far, but he has nowhere to take it. Hey, see right now, let's go and see what Miles Johnson's doing on the cockpit of that the 06 machine in that Mustang in third gear so far. He likes to chuck it in this corner right now, real deep. Gets a nice tighter angle on the gas. You see he gets in the wall there. But he keeps it in fourth gear. Let's see what gear he goes into this corner. Let's see how he takes it. This is a very, very important section, especially in order to battle back and gain also positions, but also gain some time on people around you. See Miles Johnson is feathering the throttle as well in second gear. Seems to be the gear of choice for these drivers in the last section of the track. Miles is beating the gear. Seems like his transmission might be getting a little stuck. Beating the limiter a lot more than I think Miles Johnson is comfortable with.
He was complaining a little bit about that during practice and testing, and the white flag is out. We're on the last lap. Let's take a look at our leader. He's pretty much gone.
Rashad Metz has pulled a significant gap. Let's see if he's going to make a mistake this race. On this final lap, I think.
He is literally leaving the rest of the field in his dust right now.
In the dust. You see the dust building up on these cars, especially on the rims of these cars. But right now, Rashad Metz wants to make a statement. I feel like today he wants to show everybody that the dominance of the first season, the early stages of the first season, are going to come back again this year as well. He wants to stay strong. He's going to try to battle back. But Rashad Metz in that GTO number 24 coming around the last sector of the course. Hopefully he doesn't make a mistake.
He said before this year, he wants to go out here and win as many races as he possibly can. He just wants to be the best of the best. He did win the championship last year, but he didn't have the most wins, so he just wants to go out here and win the most he can.
Right now, coming out of the final corner, Rashad Metz in the number 24 GTO car, repping his colors, is coming around to take the checkered flag. Rashad Metz is getting his win number 2 of the Touring Series season and takes the win in dominating fashion. Followed by
something happened here in the final. Whoa, let's look at here. Sissy sent it on Johnson. That sent both of them in the wall. Coming to the final sector.
Sissy's trying to battle back, trying to take some position here. Sissy in the wall! Did Johnson help him out? Let's get that in. Let's get some hood cam view here and see if Johnson gave him some help, because I think Miles Johnson was not happy with what just happened.
Of course, you see Johnson has a pretty good gap to second place now, so he's just trying to just keep it safe and bring her home and for that P2, and Sissy just sends it to the inside, which sends both of these drivers into the wall, and
Trevor Levine capitalizes.
And that made Miles Johnson very unhappy, so he
gave him some help into the wall.
Gave him some help into the final turn. And here he comes on the front stretch.
They come through. Trevor
Levine's going to assist second place.
P2.
Johnson third,
gets P3.
and Sissy spins in for a fourth place finish.
I think this is the first podium so far for Miles Johnson this season on a non-oval racetrack.
That is his first podium on a non-oval racetrack, so congratulations to him. But congratulations to today's winner, Rashad Metz. He did an excellent job here tonight, and thank you to all of us for watching. We hope to see you back here next week. Please watch all of our YouTube videos and check us out on Instagram, and thank you, Rashad Metz, for watching. We're commentating with me. Y'all have a great one, and we'll see you next weekend where the weekly series and the touring series will return. Y'all have a good one.